The following video has been brought to you by RYN Studios. Release your nerd. Hello everyone, my name is the King of Clubs and welcome to another episode of Listed. In this episode we're going to be continuing on with our series of odd and dumb laws in the United States. So get settled in for part 2 of the dumbest laws in America. Alright, let's start with number 10. Number 10 comes to us from Hawaii. In Hawaii, it's actually outlawed to have any billboards. So I use billboards for finding like places to eat, finding out where there's good places to go whenever I'm visiting a location. But it's completely outlawed in the state of Hawaii for any billboards. Not sure why, not sure the purpose that it serves. I would assume it has something to do with the preservation of the islands and keeping it more natural that way. I just don't get it. I don't personally get that one. Alright, moving on to number 9 is from Idaho. This one is that if a gentleman is to buy sweets for his girlfriend, or in all reality, if anyone buys sweets for anyone, they cannot buy less than 50 pounds of sweets. So, like Valentine's Day, when you're getting that box of chocolate for your significant other, if you're in Idaho, you have to buy a minimum of 50 pounds. I would not be surprised if Idaho leads the country in diabetics. Just saying. Moving on. Next one is for Illinois. There are, let's see here. It is stated very clearly that it is against the law to have sex with a corpse in Illinois. My problem with this is not the law itself. It's a good law to have. I was always under the impression that because of the moral problems that I have with it, that it was already illegal in pretty much every state in the U.S. to have sex with the dead body. This implication means that there is not an actual law against having intercourse with a corpse. So yeah, no necrophilia in Illinois. I still think it should be universal, but that's my opinion. Moving on now to number 7. Number 7 is in Indiana. In Indiana, if you are convicted of check forgery, you can actually be sentenced. It's actually a punishment option for you to be publicly flogged, in order to be beaten, whipped, and whatnot in the middle of town. That is not a bad idea, not so much for check forgery. For check forgery, it seems a bit extreme, a bit excessive, but I think that public flogging should still be a viable option for a lot of punishments. I think drug dealing, that should be a punishment for drug dealing, or some of the major crimes. I think public flogging would be more appropriate. Check forgery, it seems a bit excessive. I mean, yeah, you're stealing money, faking money, counterfeiting it in a sense, but it's I don't know if it warrants you being taken out into the middle of town and beaten half to death. But I still think that public flogging is not necessarily a bad idea. But maybe that's just me. Alright, moving on to the next one here, which is number 6. Let's see, number 6 comes to us from Iowa. In Iowa, if there is a one-armed piano player performing, they cannot ask for tips or payment. They have to perform for free. For some reason, and this actually seems very discriminatory to me, not me personally, but in my opinion it sounds very discriminatory against one-armed piano players. Not that there's a lot of those out there, but if you're a one-armed piano player, don't go to Iowa because they will not allow you to collect any money from your work. They require you to perform for free. Just seems like a really bad deal. I had some bad jokes, but I'm not going to say them. I mean, that's just, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Moving on now to number 5 is from the state of Kansas. Now, I live in Missouri, so I live fairly close to Kansas, actually. Now, the law that they have coming from Kansas is that it is illegal to shoot a rabbit from a motorboat. My concern here is the wording, and that's what gets me about a lot of laws that I've seen on my list here, is that some of them are worded very oddly to me, because it seems like the wording is what's making them a dumb law. Now, I believe I know what they mean. I believe what they're trying to say is that if you're out on a boat, if you're out fishing, or whatever, you cannot take a rifle with you, a hunting rifle, and use it to shoot a rabbit, to hunt a rabbit. They're not saying it's illegal to hunt rabbits. That's not what they're saying at all. They're just saying you cannot do it from a boat. Which, unless you're just really bored and happen to have your guns with you on a boat, I don't see why you'd be out hunting rabbits from a boat to begin with. So yeah, that's it's one of those things where I'm just not sure how that whole process is supposed to work anyway. I know that there are some people that would misread that and think what they mean is to shoot a rabbit from a motorboat means to launch it. Again, I think that's really would be something, an act of boredom for those people who are doing that. I don't even think anyone even does that, to be honest with you. But yeah, you can't hunt a rabbit from your boat. I don't have anything against hunting rabbits. I've actually had rabbit meat a few times. It's not bad, if cooked properly, like most meats. Yeah, I think the wording could have been better on that one. That's just my opinion. Okay, moving on to number 4 is from Kentucky, another hunting law. It's you cannot kill a fish with a bow and arrow. In other words, you cannot go bow fishing. Sadly enough, I actually think that is the actual term for hunting a fish with your bow. This kind of reminds me of the law that I mentioned at the beginning of last listed video with the whole not being able to bristle bears in Alabama. This seems like another law that's just like, okay, you're showing off how much of a badass that you are. That's great and all, but is it more of a stupid human trick at this point? I mean, I get it, you're taking the concept of spearfishing and you're reevaluating it so you can get more velocity and hopefully better accuracy. I get that, but yeah, I have bad luck just fishing, so I could not hit a fish with a bow. I can almost guarantee you that right now. So yeah, but yeah, in Kentucky it's illegal, so that's the point. In Kentucky you cannot bow fish. Alright, moving on to number 3 now, is from the state of Louisiana. If you steal an alligator in Louisiana, you can be punished with up to 10 years in prison. That is a long time for stealing one animal, a particularly dangerous animal at that. Yeah, I don't know why people would want to sell an alligator. I'd assume either to they're hunting it for the meat, because I know there are people that eat alligator meat. Haven't tried it myself, but I would imagine it's not bad. But then again, I eat most things anyways. Now, I assume other people probably sell it for the scales, the skin of the animal. And other people just don't like alligators. I mean, I mean, there are a number of reasons why people would steal an alligator. I assume that some of them are people that actually do like alligators and are stealing it because they think they're freeing it, or they want it as a pet, or whatever. But just don't do it in Louisiana. Well, you shouldn't do it anyway, but definitely don't do it in Louisiana, because you can spend a lot of time in jail for stealing one alligator. Moving on to number 2 now, is from the state of Maine. Up north, they have a law that actually, I don't think it's dumb. I actually agree with it. I think it should actually be a federal law. I think it should go across all 50 states. In Maine, you can actually be fined if you have Christmas decorations up after January 14th. I think that's an awesome law because I'm one of those guys that I'm very particular about my holidays. I don't think that you should start decorating and celebrating Christmas until after Thanksgiving. I also believe that after New Year's, if you haven't started taking down your Christmas stuff, you should already get to work on that. So that's just me. I enjoy Christmas, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's something that should be lingering around as long as people tend to do it. I've seen people leave their Christmas stuff up for almost 6 months because they put it up so early and they leave it up so late. Admittedly, I've been in houses where the people there don't take their Christmas decorations down at all. They don't do a whole lot of decorating. They mostly just do lights, and they just leave their lights up all year. That's not as bad because you're not turning them on all year round. You just turn them on during the Christmas season. I'm okay with that. But it's when you have full displays up for more than just a month, and really even a month in my opinion is too long. I get burnt out on Christmas music and all that stuff really easily because mainly because I worked in a grocery store and they play Christmas music pretty much right after Thanksgiving, and they play it up until this year. They played it up until like mid-January. It was just stupid. But yeah, so I think that should be a national law. I think that should be going across all 50 states. Just saying. Moving on to our number 1 spot on this countdown is from the state of Maryland. This is actually more centered in the city of Baltimore. There is a city law, not a state law, but a city law that says you are not allowed to take a lion to the movies. I assume that means even if the movie is Lion King or Madagascar, they don't have any exceptions. I don't know how one would take a lion to the movies. As I mentioned in my first video for this series, a lot of these are like warning labels. They happen because someone did something to provoke this law to go into effect. My guess is that someone probably took cue from the movie Zookeeper, and instead of taking a gorilla to see a movie or a gorilla to go out in town, they took a lion. The problem is you cannot make a real lion look like a person in a lion costume. They were able to do that with a gorilla in a movie because 1, it's a movie, and 2, it was actually a person in a gorilla outfit. CGI and all that other garbage. So yeah, they're not allowed to take lions to the movies in Baltimore, Maryland. So Simba's gonna have to just chill in his pen where he belongs, like a normal lion in the city. Not going to see the movies. He's under house arrest. He doesn't get to do that. Anyway, so that's it for this countdown. If you like this video, please click the like button down there, share this video with others, and leave comments. Let me know what you guys think of these laws, if you agree with them, if you think they're pretty dumb. Just let me know what you guys think. Be sure to favorite this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos that I'm going to be posting. I do apologize, this one came a day late. This is one of the few videos this week that I didn't pre-record, so I do apologize for that. But I did get it out here for you. I was able to get it out in a relatively good time frame. I'm going to probably pre-record a couple other videos to finish out this week, that way they're already done. Also, if you have any ideas or suggestions for a challenge that you would like to see me do on my Stupid Stunt Sundays, please leave comments on my Facebook and my Twitter. And you can do it on my Tumblr as well. I have not been seeing a lot of activity on my Tumblr, so I'm debating if I want to keep that going. But if you guys want to leave me comments on Tumblr, go ahead. I'd be more than happy to look at them over. Be sure to check me out on all my social media. I also have Snapchat as well. However, that's another one that I haven't seen a whole lot of activity on yet. So be sure to check out all my other videos. If you have any suggestions for a stunt that you'd like to see me do on Sundays, please let me know. I'm desperately looking for stunt ideas. I have a couple, one of which I want to save for the summer because it's one, it's a charity type thing, and 2, it's something that I want to do when it's warmer outside, because it's going to be something I want to do outside. I have another one One I'm thinking about doing is Chubby Bunny. If I don't get any suggestions, that'll be this Sunday's stunt. So hopefully I get more ideas, because I'd really like to save Chubby Bunny for kind of a... I like the idea of the challenge. I really want to save it for like a need to do occasion if I don't have any other ideas. I started to think, if you guys noticed, to where if I receive a challenge from someone else, I'll probably throw the challenge right back at you. So be aware you might be challenged to do the same thing. You don't have to do it. It'd just be a lot of fun if you did. If you do, be sure you record it and be sure you send me a link to it, because I want to see that. Alright guys, I've let this video run a bit longer than I intended, but hopefully you guys enjoy it, and have a nice day.
Cuando visita su abuela, si necesita una amiga, debe hablar con ratoncito. Si quiere ser mi amante, debe ser alta y delgadita. Lunes, martes, ratones, pez, miércoles, jueves.